They don't want to know. They don't seek the knowledge. They're too busy with other things. In this there is great wisdom, my brothers and sisters. In this one verse is enormous understanding and meaning of the proper meaning of Tawheed, of monotheism, the worship of one true God, and the rejection of all false deities and false pieces of information which make partners with Allah, even if they come from the most beloved people to you and the people you owe honor and respect to, such as your fathers, your mothers, your relatives, your uncles and aunties, your ancestors, your people of authority, even your sheikhs. But sheikhs will never do something like that. But back in Lebanon and in other countries, they call certain people sheikhs that do not deserve that name. They are not knowledgeable, and they are people who have taken on the name of sheikh, and they're dressed like sheikhs, but they teach the people actions of sorcery, making partners with Allah, and innovative matters such as calling upon the dead, calling upon people who were called by righteous names, taking their children to their graves for healing, doing actions of sorcery in the name of good. And this all comes with shirk in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Teaching them traditions such as we said before, knocking on wood to keep away bad luck. This is based on shirk of people who thought that spirits used to go into trees. So they used to hang up and bless themselves from trees, and wood is made of trees. And so on and so forth. Swearing oath by other than Allah, such as swearing on my mother's grave, they say. Swearing on my honor. Swearing on my mustache. They say this in Arab terms. Wahiyat shwerbi, they say. By the honor of my mustache, by the honor of myself. And so on and so forth. This is all part of following traditions of past ancestors that Allah did not send down at all. We have in my father's village in Lebanon a grave which is probably it can fit about, I'd say about 5 people in a row. That's how big it is. And the name of the person they've given in that grave is Marmar. Marmar. I've never heard of this name in the Quran or in anywhere in the traditions of Islam. Marmar. But I heard about it in the books of the Christians. And they say he is a noble wali of God. They take their kids there for healing. If the woman wants to get pregnant, she goes there. If they're not even allowed to touch any of the trees around him, because they say this is a sanctuary for the Prophet Marmar in that grave. So no one touches the trees, even if they need them. So these are names. I'll just give you an example. I'd like to attack myself so I don't offend anyone. These are names which they bring about, and customs and traditions which they bring about. Allah tells us in the Quran, why do you worship other than what Allah has brought you, to the people of Quraysh? And they used to say, بَلْ نَعْبُدُ مَا أَلْفَيْنَا عَلَيْهِ آبَاءَنَا بَلْ نَتَّبِعُ مَا أَلْفَيْنَا عَلَيْهِ آبَاءَنَا. We are going to follow what we found our forefathers on. And this is, even within Muslims, sadly, today, they call themselves Muslims, and they say we submit ourselves to Allah and His laws, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. But when you look at their actions inside their religion, they have taken on customs and traditions of their forefathers and their country where they come from, and they don't care whether it fits with the sunnah or not. They just take it on and do it and insist on others, and they get upset with you if you don't do it. And they will cut you off of their relationships, of their bloodline, if you don't follow what they do in their traditions, whether it be marriage or celebrations or some type of eating procedure. If it has got something to do with the religion, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about customs that have nothing to do with the deen. Such as, these people like to eat this way, or these people like to dress this way. So long as it's halal within Islamic rights, customs are okay. But when it has something to do with worship and deen within the religion, then it becomes haram if it doesn't agree with our religion. So now the point is, Yusuf alayhi salam, he called the prisoners to Allah. He gave them da'wah of tawheed. 2 things. Number 1, once you have gained the trust and you have gained the love, well, not necessarily the love, but you've gained the trust and the friendship of other people, now they like speaking to you, then that is when your da'wah is beneficial. You call them to the deen. I know of some people, they meet someone for the first time, and they still don't even know them, and they say to them, I invite you to accept Islam. You haven't even taught them anything. They don't know anything about your deen. In fact, I remember one person stood up, held the Quran and said, you people are full of corruption, filth, and all you want is degradation for women by taking off their hijab. You want this and you eat the swine. After saying all of this, he said, and now I invite you to accept the Quran. So you put the other person down and then you invite him to your religion. They're going to look at you and say, I will never enter a religion that teaches you this type of manners, this type of character. So Allah says in the Quran, فَذَكِّرْ إِن نَفَعَتِ الذِّكْرَى. The benefit that benefits, the remembrance that benefits the people, use that. Don't just cut and paste anything and just throw anything at people. All right, have some wisdom, win them to your side, and the best thing is with neighbors. Show them some concern, show them consideration. When you make some kind of a food, it's nice, pass it on to them. Say hello, say this, say that, help them. And when they see this kindness from you, then slowly you are able to give them da'wah. For character of Islam is da'wah in itself. And then you can use your verbal comments with them. For example, I had a neighbor who sees me wear these. You know, I come out of my house wearing this outfit every now and then. He's a Christian Lebanese. When we first got to meet him, it was, hello, how are you? Talking about Lebanon, talking about this, talking about, you know, common things. Having a cup of coffee together. And then one day, the neighbor said to me, whatever you are on, stay on your religion. Stay on your iman. And I'm wondering why he said that. He saw the peace and the serenity in this outfit and in the character that we showed him. So then I was ready to give at least a hint about our deen. And the first thing I say to them is, you know, our Quran says that you are from the people of the book. And to Ahl al-Kitab. You're the people of the book. And that is because we share some commonalities in the books. And so we went into a small discussion. Next time, inshallah, we'll go into a bigger discussion. But Yusuf alayhi salam, this is what Allah is telling us. Earn the trust from the people and then give them da'wah. And the first thing you start off with is what? Issues pertaining to tawheed, to Allah and to His words. So you don't go ahead and start with talking about, for example, pork or wine unnecessarily. Or talk about the beard straight away. Why don't you get everything and return it back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Just as Yusuf alayhi salam said, everything I know is from Allah. So now you're introducing him to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After telling him these things, he was ready to interpret their dreams for them. Now he's taken the responsibility off his shoulders and given it to them in clarity. Now Allah mentions a few verses about it, but obviously they went into a long discussion about Allah and Tawheed. Then, when they were ready, Yusuf alayhi salam gave them the promise. He helped them with what they wanted of less importance.
يا صاحبي السجن أما أحدكما فيسقي ربه خمرا وأما الآخر فيصلب فتأكل الطير من رأسه قضي